Snow was eating the world alive that winter. Every breath burned, every step felt like surrender. Outside a broken log cabin, a starving nurse held an empty bowl with shaking hands, sitting beside a wounded cowboy she barely knew. She thought she was saving a poor stranger. She didn't know. This man owned half the land beyond the frozen trees, and her fate was about to change forever. The wind howled through the pine trees like it was mourning the dead. Emma pulled her thin shawl tighter, though it did little against the biting cold. She had not eaten properly in days, yet she knelt beside the injured cowboy, melting snow in a dented pot. Her fingers were cracked and bleeding, but she didn't stop. In her world, pain was normal. Leaving someone to die was not. The man leaned against the cabin wall, his breath heavy, his face roughened by years of hardship. His coat was worn, his hat faded, and his boots torn at the seams. To Emma, he looked like every other broken soul the winter had claimed. She didn't ask his name. She didn't ask for money. She simply fed him spoon by spoon, even when her own stomach screamed. That night, the fever nearly took him. Emma stayed awake, pressing cold cloths to his forehead, whispering prayers she wasn't sure anyone still heard. She was once a nurse in a small town, until illness took her parents and hunger took her home. Since then, she survived by helping others, even when it cost her everything. By morning, the fever broke. The cowboy opened his eyes and found her asleep beside him, the empty bowl still clutched in her hands. Something shifted in his chest. Not pain, but shame. He had gold hidden beneath the cabin floor, deeds to land, power, wealth enough to buy warmth for 100 winters. Yet this girl, who had nothing, gave him the only thing that mattered: mercy. Days passed. He healed slowly. Emma grew weaker. She smiled anyway. One afternoon, he asked quietly, "Why help a man you thought was poor?" She looked at him, confused. "Because no one deserves to die alone," she said. When spring finally broke the snow, strangers arrived on horseback, men who bowed their heads to the wounded cowboy. Emma froze in disbelief as she learned the truth. He was one of the wealthiest landowners in the territory. The poor man she saved owned towns, rivers, futures. She tried to leave that night, embarrassed, feeling small, but he stopped her at the cabin door.